Now, what I do is I speak on the Darley case. So I'm going to keep this argument with Tracy. I'm going to keep this little clip about the Darley case because Rich Prater claimed, "Oh, go over and look at Tracy. She knows this case very, very well. She's very well versed in this case." So I want to run this clip first and show you guys how well that a Darley supporter has nothing to do with Tracy personally. I wish we didn't get into that big argument, but I'm not going to have her talk about my son's case and saying I did this and that without arguing with her about it. She knows that. She's got a drama channel. It's based on her arguing and bitching at other people all day long. And when you can see from the views, my views are not as good when I'm just doing the Darley case. I might get a couple hundred views. But I'm a 17 hours in and I've already got 600 views on this drama. And the drama community showed up, which is fine. You know, I miss some of those people. I just don't miss the drama. But, anyways, this is what we're talking about here in the Darley case.
Why you keep bringing it up? I don't want my son to get out on a fucking technicality. He deserves to be where he's at.
Yeah, that's what you say, but
that's what I'm telling you. That's what I've told.
You went looking for technicalities in the beginning.
I didn't go looking for no fucking technicality.
Yes, you did. That's why you told me about the tornado drill. How would I know there was a tornado drill? I wasn't.
Because I said that we were talking about Darley, as a matter of fact. And I said, well, yeah, I know that the court system's fucked up because there was a tornado
Here
drill.
goes Bryan spinning his words again.
I'm not spinning it. Prove it.
You always spin them, Bryan.
Okay, so the court case, he's been in for almost 7 years now.
Look, have you heard me say anything? Are you going to continue this? Because I'm not going to sit here and argue Luke's case. I'm not going to sit here and argue Darley's case. Are you going to continue?
You can't argue Darley's
on
case.
YouTube when I don't mention your fucking name.
You can't argue Darley's case with me.
I can argue all day long, Bryan.
You get it wrong all day long. Tell me why she's innocent.
Rock.
Tell me why she's innocent.
I'm not declaring innocence. I'm declaring a new trial.
Oh, so you'd be happy if she got a new trial and got out on a technicality, even if she killed 2 kids, right?
Well, she wasn't charged, but with 1 kid.
But the trial was definitely about Devin and Damon. And Greg Davis's opening statement.
She was charged.
Rich, listen in real close, Rich Prater, because you stood for this woman to be an expert in this. Well, you didn't say she was an expert, but you said she knows the case very, very well. She's got some very good information about the case. This is what you put out about the Darley Routier innocence. This is what you put out, Rich. I'd like for you're welcome to comment. I'm not going at you, but I'm just saying this is what you put out. Listen to how dense she is on the case.
Charged with 1 kid.
Right. She was charged with the one that was 5 years old, so they could give her the death penalty.
Okay, they could have given her the death penalty for 2 kids.
Did give her the death penalty based on her killing 2 kids. All the evidence of Devin and Damon's injuries were presented. Autopsy photo, pictures, all of it was presented. It wasn't just about Damon. Now listen to her. She says that since they talked about Devin during that trial, that she should get an appeal on that.
No, they could not give her the death penalty for Devin because he was over the age of 6.
Okay, so, Bryan, but they could have included Devin.
They did include Devin. They didn't
have any evidence of Devin.
All the evidence they spoke about.
Devin's
what do you think that what do you think they talked about in the court case? They talked about Devin's stab wounds, Devin's injuries. They talked about all of it.
Whole nother reason Darley should appeal.
She should appeal because they brought up injuries to Devin. She should appeal based on that. Rich Prater, do you know how fucking stupid that is? So quit saying that these people know a hell of a lot about the case when I can prove. This is what happens when a Darley supporter comes to talk about that case with me. This is what happens every single time. Stupidity. Lack of knowledge on the law.
Whole nother reason for an appeal. She was being prosecuted. She was being tried on 1 death.
She thinks that that's actually a reason for an appeal. She thinks that that's unfair that they talked about Devin's death in that trial. You know, in the mafia, when you introduce someone new, if they're not a made man, you say, this is a friend of mine. Right? But if it is a made man, you say that this is a friend of ours. Rich, she's just a friend of yours. She's not good at this. She does not know this case very well. She's just a friend of Darla Keys. She's just somebody that wants to say she's in. Now she claimed that she's not innocent. She just needs a new trial. That comes out of her mouth. If Darla gets a new trial, it's only going to compound what we knew. It's going to make things worse. There's more evidence now of her guilt than there was before because of Darren. One question they should be asked on the stand in a new trial. Mr. Routier, you wrote an affidavit in 2002 claiming that your wife asked you for a separation that night. Did you not? Yes, sir, I did. Why didn't you include that statement in your statements to the police? I don't know. Mr. Routier, in 2002, you stated that you asked multiple people to break into your home and do an insurance scam. Did you not? Yes, I did. Mr. Routier, how come you've never named any of those people? Let that sink in a little bit, Darley supporters.
Fine.
Well,
so to bring Devin into it without
in Greg Davis's opening statements.
All right.
In Greg Davis's opening statements, he said, "Let me make this."
Oh, Greg Davis is still convinced there's mulch outside the window. Okay.
This is where it gets really good. This is Rich. This is what you promote as someone that knows the case very well.
There is mulch outside the window.
No, there's not, Brian.
Yes, there is.
Pull up a picture where there's mulch outside of that window.
He said, when you step out of that window, you immediately come to a patch of mulch. It's right there on the side. Yes, that's exactly what he said.
Well, he said it, but there ain't no mulch there.
There is mulch there. Even Darren said,
Brian.
Yes, there is. You want a fucking picture of it? There's a whole big flower bed right there next to that window.
Next to the window, not in front of the window.
Right. He never said that it was in front of the window. The
perpetrator was supposed to come out of the.
He never said that it was up against the window. He said,
get on the sidewalk.
What he said was, when you go out to the window, you immediately come to a patch of mulch, which you do.
No, you don't.
2 steps.
It's concrete leading right up to the window, Brian.
Right. And when you come out of that window, you immediately step into a patch of mulch.
No, the concrete is under the window.
Away from the concrete, Tracy. See,
the window is above concrete.
Right. You're absolutely right. And when you
step out, would the perpetrator
when you step out that window, you immediately come to a patch of mulch, is what he said.
He said the mulch. No, that is not what he said.
All right. Tracy,
wasn't disturbed.
Tracy,
why wasn't it disturbed? Why would the perpetrator walk through it?
For you. I'll bet you this, and you can take this to the bank. If you can post where
Greg there isn't, Krang.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
Underneath that window is concrete. To the left or to the right is a flower bed, but underneath that window is concrete.
That's right. But when you step out of that window, you immediately come to a patch of mulch.
No, the concrete goes right straight out.
Yeah, but when you step out that window towards the gate, you come immediately to a patch of mulch. That's exactly
it's all you can stay on the concrete. It's not a problem.
Well, let me get a fucking picture and put it up.
So you're telling me you have to walk through the mulch?
You don't have to
the gate. Is that what you're telling me? You have to walk through the mulch.
Nobody said he had to
get to the gate. Is that what you're telling me?
Tracy, if you go out onto the sidewalk, the fucking motion lights come on.
Oh, do they? Because there was a little fucking mess about that too.
Yeah, because when the police got there, they were in the backyard and they came on and stayed on for 18 minutes. Yeah, read the transcripts.
Yeah, they didn't have to dance around to get them to come on at all, did they?
No, they were on the sidewalk. They didn't even know they were there. But Rich says that you know a lot about this case.
I do. I know there's concrete underneath that window. I knew they had sliding glass doors, and Darlie was sleeping right in front of them. You didn't know that, and you toured the fucking house, which you say, but I don't believe, because
they
you
know
film everything. You film if you take a shit, and you want to convince me that you didn't film in Darlie Routier's house.
Nope. Nicole wouldn't come in with me. I was a supporter. I didn't film nothing.
Right. That's when you went to check out the John F. Kennedy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we filmed that.
You went on over to Rowlett and walked through Darlie Routier's house and didn't film a fucking thing.
It's only 30 miles away.
You went over there and didn't film a fucking thing.
That's right, because I was going on a house tour of the house with the realtor, so I couldn't be filming a fucking thing.
Yeah, you can film during a tour of a house for sale. You sure can.
I didn't.
Of course you didn't, Brian. But we all know you film everything. You film your breakfast. You film your fucking dinners you cook. You film everything, but you didn't happen to film.
What did I have
for breakfast? The investigators didn't happen to record Darlie Routier.
Tracy, what did I have for breakfast today?
I don't know, Brian. Are you going to sit here and say you don't film when you're out to a diner?
I didn't film it. You just said I filmed my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner. What I have?
Brian, I don't know. I don't care. I'm talking about all the times you go out to eat and you film your food. Good for you. No harm, no foul. Nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck, but you're watching. You're watching, Tracy. For somebody that don't give a fuck.
Now, does it seem to anybody that she knows this case? She doesn't know well enough to know that the reason that the mulch was even brought up is because of the mulch, the motion detector lights was one thing, and that the quickest way to the gate would be to go directly through that mulch. Darlie said he went out the window. The only way he could get out over that gate is to go to it. She's claiming that he went out down the sidewalk, and we all know that those motion detector lights would come on if he did that. And then when I mentioned it, she said, "Oh, the cops are out there dancing around." Cops went out there and made it dance around, trying to get. They didn't even know the lights were out there until they came on.
Now, what Greg Davis said, since she rage quit on me, what Greg Davis said was that when you step out that window, you immediately come to a patch of mulch, which is about 6 inches away from that window. The reason he said that is because if you go out into the cement, the motion detector lights come on, and they didn't come on that night. They didn't come on.
This is what happens when a Darlie supporter tries to debate this case with me live. I challenge any one of them, anytime. Because when I'm telling you, when I'm debating this case with them, it all comes to me. I don't have to do research. If I'm just trying to do a video, I have to do the research. But when I got somebody in my face, it just all comes to me about why they're wrong. So, Rich, I would encourage you, because it looks really bad when you say that these people know a lot about the case. I have a hard time with Kathy Ramsey. I really do. I was having a discussion with her, which she rage quit on me there. She quit commenting to me. She said that she knew the family very well and that she babysit Darlie at age 8 when she started getting molested. And I asked her, and this is just us talking on another video, not too long ago. I asked her, I said, when was the last time you saw the boys? She said, Halloween of 1995, that she saw the boys. She said she saw them a couple different times between them, but the last time was Halloween of 95. So I looked that up to see what day it fell on. I did that for a reason. It fell on a Tuesday, right? A weekday. And I asked her, I said, well, did you go to the funeral? And she said, well, I couldn't get off work that day. She knows the family very well, but she couldn't make it to the funeral because she couldn't get off work that day. But she can make that 6-hour drive away from where she lives on Halloween. If they're not going to let you off for a funeral, Halloween is not a holiday. I mean, most workforces. And even if it was, it's 6 hours down, visit, 6 hours back. These are Kathy's own words. So why didn't she go to the funeral? I personally don't believe she ever met Devin and Damon. And I don't believe she's the biggest friend as she claims. I think she's inserted herself into the case. But anyways, any Darley supporter that wants to come up on my panel and challenge me on this case, you're more than welcome to it, and you'll get exactly what Tracy just got.